Hey, my amazing listener. I am like doing what I never do, and that is popping in before the episode even starts because I've got a favor to ask you. It'll take you like 2, possibly 3 minutes to do this favor for me. But the Big Small Business Survey has just opened for 2023, and I would love for you to be one of the small business owners who has their voice heard. You can go to all the W's, the big small business survey.com, and you can fill out the survey there. I'm doing the survey with some other amazing humans in the business space here in Australia, including Dale Beaumont, Andrew Griffith, David Jennings, and of course, Katrina McCarter. So all five of us would really appreciate you taking the time to go to the big small business survey.com and filling out the survey. Thank you. All right, here's the episode. Hey, welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
If you're gonna dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Why, hey there, my amazing listener. Thank you for joining me for episode 263 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Thank you, as always, for lending me your ears today. I know you have lots of choices out there, and I really do appreciate you making my podcast one of them today. If you are enjoying this podcast and you have a spare 30 seconds in your life, I would love you to take a screenshot of you listening to it, or take a selfie of you listening to it, share it on your socials, and tag me. That would be super cool to get to know you a little bit better as a podcast listener. Of course, you can find the show notes for this particular podcast episode at all the W social media and marketing.com.au/263. You may need that link today because we are talking about AI tools that I use inside my business to make business life simpler. So you may want a couple of those links. So keep that link in mind. But before we get into that, couple of things. Did you have a listen to last week's episode? It was with the amazing Jessica Osborne, and we were talking about how to put your prices up without losing customers. Something that a lot of people do actually think about is, what if I put my prices up and I lose my customers? What if you don't put your prices up and you lose your business? Anyway, there was some real gold in that conversation. Head back and listen to episode 262 if you haven't already. And a big shout out to this week's podcast sponsor, Turn Back Time Radio. I am going to let Neil Butler, my good friend, tell you all about Turn Back Time Radio.
Are you tired of listening to the same old radio stations, the same sound, the same tired jokes presented by the same voices? Then have I got some news for you. Turn Back Time Radio is here, playing the very best music of the past 70 years, 24 hours a day, 7 days per week. No ads and no presenters talking over the tracks. Just songs you know, back to back to back. You can download the free Turn Back Time Radio app for your Apple or Android device and listen wherever you go. And unlike the streaming services, it won't cost you a single cent to listen. Free to listen, songs you know, uninterrupted 24/7. This is radio as it should be. Find out more about Turn Back Time Radio on our website at www.turnbacktime.radio. Turn Back Time Radio. Great music, great times. It's radio as it should be.
Thanks so much, Neil, for supporting the podcast. And remember, you can find Turn Back Time Radio at all the W's, turnbacktime.radio. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm here to share 3 AI tools that I pretty consistently use inside my business that are definitely making my business life simpler, and I really wanted to share them with you. So the first probably won't surprise you. It is ChatGPT. It's become a real integral part of my way. I use it like a sounding board, like I would use you. If you were in the room with me, I'd be like, "How do you do this? And where would I find that? And how do I spell that? And what's another word for that?" These are the questions that I ask ChatGPT all the time. And I find myself actually using it more than I use Google, if I'm completely honest, these days. I'll ask it things like, "What websites would you recommend to find information on UX design?" And it spits out some websites for me. By the way, UX design is about designing websites with your user in mind, just in case you weren't quite sure what UX design was. Um, and if ChatGPT doesn't spit out what I'm looking for, I ask it a better quality question. Whereas if I went to Google and Googled like UX design for websites, it won't necessarily give me the websites I'm looking for. It will give me websites that are probably trying to sell me a program or sell me into them designing the UX for my website, and or someone who's actually just really good with their SEO, not necessarily giving me potentially websites that might actually tell me what UX design looks like. So ChatGPT, better than Google. In the past few days, when I say that I use it all the time, here's what I've asked ChatGPT in just the last few days. I've asked it to help me formulate some questions for a podcast interview that I want to do around International Rural Women's Day. I've asked it to restructure some headings in my new book, Small Town Big Impact, that's coming out very soon. I've played with the Canva plugin available on the paid version of ChatGPT. I've just swapped over to the paid version of ChatGPT. So I've been playing with that. I've been playing with another app, which is called SEO Core AI, which has actually done an analysis of my website from an SEO point of view, which has been a little bit interesting. And I've asked it to find some quotes. Actually, not some quotes. I've asked it to find the references who said these quotes, because there's a few quotes that I had in my book, and I'm kind of like, who actually said these quotes? I need to find out because sometimes Google just makes things or has been fed the information to make things up, where I was looking for the source, not the latest person to have said that particular thing. So I use it a lot. If you've never used ChatGPT, then I'll put the link in the show notes for you to go and open a free account. There's lots of copycat URLs out there. So I'll actually put the one in my show notes, the real ChatGPT. So if you want to find that, of course, it is just chat.openai.com. That's the real one, but also the link's in the show notes. I've just asked ChatGPT to recommend some websites or some guides on how to use itself if you were a beginner. And it gave me a big list of things to go and do and read. So perhaps if you haven't signed up for ChatGPT or you're still not quite sure how to use it to the best of your ability, maybe that's your first job. When you've listened to this podcast, go and ask it how it would recommend you learn how to use that particular thing. Of course, you can go and follow amazing humans like my friend Tracy Sheehan from The Digital Guide. She's writing a book called AI and You. So she's a bit of an AI expert. The book will be out next year. So you could follow someone like her on the socials. Just type in The Digital Guide, you will find her. Or you can head to YouTube and watch some videos. Or, of course, you could use the hashtag ChatGPT on Instagram and LinkedIn and find some people that are using and showing and sharing tips under particular hashtag. So there's lots of different ways you can find how to use ChatGPT. But like I said, it's got huge capabilities and I've only just scratched the surface. But as much as I love ChatGPT, there are some limitations on ChatGPT. There's actually lots, but here's a few that play on my mind as far as limitations go. So the first one is its data point. So its last data point, according to itself, was September 2021. So any information on the website after that date, ChatGPT cannot use or help give you or enhance your answers by giving you more recent content. So that content is now 2 years old. So anything that's happened in the last 2 years, for me, it's like when we did the big small business survey last year, it can't use those results as far as data goes. So basically, you could say ChatGPT is still in COVID lockdown. Hopefully, they'll release new data points. I'm knew something like Tracy Sheehan, who is all over this sort of thing, would know better than me. But that's one, of course, limitation. Secondly, if you It's only as good as the questions you ask it. So if you don't like the answers it gives you to a question the first time around, be more specific. I can't tell you enough that you just need to be more specific if you want specific answers or specific answers. There's two instructions I nearly always give it. One is pretend you are a insert expertise, such as pretend you are a marketing expert, pretend you are a expert in web design, pretend you are a world-renowned e-commerce expert, etc., etc. So kind of ask it to pretend to be something. And I always ask it to use friendly language. So give the answers in a friendly language because I don't want a professional language. Sometimes I ask it to give answers based around Australian language, but I find sometimes it says, "G'day, mate," and all that sort of crap. And really, that's not how I speak. In fact, I don't think that's how many Australians speak. So it's got a little bit to learn. So be as specific as you possibly can be to get the answers you would like or that you are happy with. The third limitations is it's only as good as the data it has to read, which does make me wonder, will this learning machine get dumber or smarter with more people using it? If people put in dumb data, will it get dumber? Kind of some of those things that plays on my mind. I assume that it won't because it's also using data of the whole internet up to September 21. So that's an interesting thought. Is a machine going to get smarter or dumber because of the data we actually put out there? Don't know. I'll tell you in 10 years, perhaps. Fourthly and lastly, um, be careful how you use what it spits out. Now, admittedly, if 10 people ask it the exact same question, it is going to give a different version of the same answer because it is an AI learning machine and it doesn't have a mind of its own. And therefore, everything that it spits out is the content that someone else has essentially given it. Um, on my retreat earlier this year, 10 people in the room, 10 people asked the same question, got 10 different answers. So it's not like it will give the same answer to everybody, but just be really wary of copying and pasting and calling it yours because it's a machine learning. It only learns what people put into it or what's on the internet, and all of that is made up of other humans. So it's potentially got some copyright issues, but not at the moment. But just yeah, I just don't want you to go in there, ask it to to do 10 social media posts for yourself and you cut and paste those 10 social media posts and you call your social media done. You need to humanize it. You need to Jenny it or Paul it or Sam it, depending on, you need to put some personality towards it that is yours. Interesting though, before I leave ChatGPT, I was talking to my book coach, Andrew Griffith, not so long ago, a few weeks ago, and he made the reference that there will come a time when authors need to acknowledge in their books, maybe on the front covers, maybe on the back covers, maybe inside the book, how much of the book was actually written by AI as opposed to how much was written by the actual author. In this way, of course, we can ensure that we're reading the content from an author, not a machine, if that's what we thought we were paying for, because we don't want to pay for a book that we think has been written by an author, but turns out it was actually written by a computer. So that's a really interesting I guess, progress in book writing and all sorts of other things that we will have to acknowledge how much of the book has been written by AI. And for those playing along at home, my new book, Small Town, Big Impact, the chapter about AI was written by AI, and that was done on purpose, of course. But other than that, not much of that book is written by AI. A couple of little prompts, but no actual text writing other than that one chapter. Okay, so that's enough on my absolute favorite tool, which is only pipped by Canva, of course, as my favorite all-time tool. We'll talk about Canva in a sec. But my second tool that's making my life simpler is Cast Magic, CASTMAGIC. Cast Magic. Now, if you don't do a lot of audio or video in your business, then this may not be a tool for you. But if you do a lot of audio or video in your marketing, it is literally magic. So basically what you do is you upload your MP3 file and it converts it to show notes, summaries, highlights, quotes, social posts such as LinkedIn posts, quotes, hook, calls to action. It'll break down the recording into timestamps to show each one broken into different speakers as well. Like if you're interviewing people, it will tell, it will break down the show notes into different speakers. It gives me titles and keywords and key bullet points and real scripts, as in REEL scripts. A newsletter, which is probably more like an email actually than a newsletter. And it also gives you threads for threads. So, Meta's new platform, Threads, it'll give you threads for threads. Um, it's amazing. I'm really experimenting hard with it. I'm using bits and pieces out of it, but I can see how it can really make your business life simpler if you do a lot of audio or a lot of video. Now, it's not free. And if you go to the Cast Magic website, which is castmagic.io, prices start at about 23 a month, which of course is going to be US dollars. But I'm going to let you into a little tiny secret. If you're super keen to give this a go, then I would run and go fast because as I'm recording this, what are we? At the start of October 2023, AppSumo has a deal on a lifetime deal. So if you don't know AppSumo, you've got to know AppSumo. It's a great marketplace for finding really cool apps. So APPSUMO, AppSumo, and Cast Magic at the moment is on sale for $23 for a lifetime. Not $23 a month, $23 for a lifetime. So that's a really cool little deal that AppSumo have going. The link, of course, is in the show notes. Otherwise, just go to appsumo.io, type in Cast Magic, and you will find it there, but it is in the show notes. Now, this isn't an affiliate. I have no link, no affiliate links with Cast Magic or ChatGPT or the next one. I'm just sharing this stuff to make your business life simpler. So I just want to be honest with you there. All right, the third and final tool that I want to talk to you about today is Canva. Now, stick with me here. You probably all use Canva, but how much of the AI side of Canva do you actually use? It's not all AI, but they are bringing out more and more AI tools on the platform, and I would really encourage you to go and have a look at them and go and have a play with them. And in fact, if you are listening to this podcast at the start of October when it's released in 2023, Canva have just had a huge launch overnight and added a whole load of new tools. I don't know what the tools are, but I'm guessing they are all AI tools for us to play with. So go and check them out. If you just go to your Canva anytime after, what is it, Thursday, the 5th of October, they're probably right there on the very first page. It's called Canva Magic, so you should be able to see it there. Go section out like an hour or two of your diary, maybe over the weekend, and have a play with every single one of them. But I want to talk to you about a couple of AI tools. How many is there? I don't even know how many there is. 8 potentially that are on Canva already because Canva Magic is until tomorrow. I don't know what's coming. But here's the AI tools that are there at the moment that are pretty cool. So the first one is text to image. So basically it creates images based on your text prompts. Now they're not brilliant, but they are improving. It's a bit of a watch this space. Again, it's not probably. Again, it is all about the text prompts that you put in. The more specific you can be, the better the image will be that will come out. The second one is Magic Eraser. I am so in love with this tool. It removes unwanted objects from photos. Something that used to take a very long time and a lot of skill now just takes a few seconds. Magic Eraser. The next one is Magic Edit. It's the graphic design tool that you never knew you needed. So with one click and a few words, you can take an image and turn it into something different. Like, for instance, you could have someone with holding a birthday cake that's a vanilla cake, and now you can turn it into a chocolate cake with birthday candles on it. Like that is yeah, like I said, you might not know you needed this tool, but it's actually magic. called Magic Edit. And the next one is Magic Write. So it is basically an AI text generator, making it easier to generate short and long form written content for your social media posts, blog articles, or presentations. So that one was Magic Write, um, as in write with a pen. Because this is not a visual medium, this is audio. So it's write as in write with a pen. The next one is Magic Design. So this is a pretty cool one that I've only experimented with a little bit. But basically, what you need to do is, you know how when you're trying to match templates and you're like, I like that template, and then you need to go and change them all into the right colors and things like that. What you actually do is you upload a photo or enter a text query that describes what you need, and Magic Design will generate relevant design templates to match. So basically, no more building them from scratch. It's a little bit like text to image, not brilliant, but always improving. So if you tried something like Magic Design a little while ago and it didn't quite give you what you wanted, go back and try it again, because these AI tools are always improving. Um, Presentation. So instant presentations is a Magic Design feature that allows you to generate entire presentations with a single text prompt. Now, it won't generate the whole presentation. It has limitations, obviously, but it will give you a pretty awesome first draft. So that was instant presentations. Beat sync. I just think of the amount of time these things used to take people that are now so simple. So, beat sync is basically, here's the problem. Okay, you've got a video and syncing the beat is a tedious process. Just ask any 15-year-old who's tried to do this for you before. So, what it involves is manually tweaking the timing of multiple audio and video clips over and over again. That's how you used to have to do it. But now BeatSync uses AI to take the pain out of this process while producing a professionally polished end product. With this feature, even amateurs like me can kind of harmonize their videos in seconds. So get that timing, that beat timing going, which, of course, if you are big in Instagram reels and things like that, catching someone's attention really quickly with the beat, of course, we need micro interactions and we need people to stop taking away the fact that your beat's not synced with your video. Here it is. Here's your problem. Here's your solution, actually, to the problem. The last one I wanted to talk about with Canva is Translate. So, Canva Translate can basically translate your content into multiple languages, actually 134 different languages to be exact. So, you might not want to do it just yet, but your business could go global quite quickly by translating your information in Canva with Canva Translate. Hey, that's it. They were my 3 tools, and if you want to know about those Canva tools, just before I move on, Canva has a help desk that has lots of videos that you can go and watch, or go to YouTube. Someone fabulous over there has some tutorials for you. Just, use good commandments. Oh, not commandments, use good prompts to find good videos. But there you have it. They are my 3 AI tools that I constantly use in my business that are helping me make my business life simpler. Do you have one? Do you have like a tool that you use all the time that you would love to share with me and my community? I would love for you to do that. So you can email me, jen@jendonovan.com.au. You can send me a DM, or of course you can head to the Like Minded Business Owners Facebook group and share it with everybody over there. Make sure you tag me though, because I need to see it. I need to see what AI tool you are using to make your business life simpler. Of course, like I said at the start, you can find all the links that I've mentioned in the show notes, available at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/263. And if you have a spare 30 seconds in your life, I would love for you to leave a rating and review for this podcast. One of the goals of mine this year was to reach more people with this podcast, and you leaving me a review can be your way of helping me do that. So thank you so much in advance. I will, of course, see you next week for episode 264. Do you know there's only 12 podcasts left for the year? So that's 12 weeks till the end of the year. which I'm so sorry, means one less week till Christmas. So 11 weeks to Christmas. Ooh, you probably will unsubscribe now, but please don't. Thank you again to Turn Back Time Radio for your support. You can visit them at turnbacktime.radio. And in the meantime, if we aren't social on social yet, please come and find me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and Threads, and TikTok now as well. But whatever you do, remember, my small business peep, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
No time like the present. Tell it like you feel it, say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Yorta Yorta people, on which I record this podcast and conduct my business today, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend this respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us today as well.